The Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
From a championship backfield to your morning drive.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
You're locked in to Off the Bench.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, here's Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Welcome in a Thursday edition of Off the Bench. How we doing out there? Taylor Sharp here with you, filling in for Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. We got today, we got tomorrow. We are here with you all week long. Jake and Matt will be back on Monday. Alondra Villarreal and Cassie Spazzali this morning. She decided to wake up early for us one day and hang out with us here. Guys, how we doing? How we doing this morning?
Good. Cassie, it always makes me laugh when we're both doing Hunt's show because he's like, that's a lot of vowels back there.
It is.
He says it every time.
That is a lot of vowels.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 5-letter last name, so everything's a lot of vowels for me. But Cassie, how we doing?
I'm all right. I'm struggling with the yawns here. It's a little early.
I know. I saw
but
you walking down the hallway, and I'm like, Cassie, we got to wake this thing up.
I've already yawned at least 5 times before the start of the show. It's rough, but we're hanging in here. I'm good. I'll be fine.
It's
You'll be
low
good to
energy
go.
back here.
Yeah.
The eyes are feeling real heavy too.
You were at the box yesterday.
I did go to the box.
How'd that
yesterday.
go?
Oh yeah, how
It
was
was
that?
good. I mean, it was fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
big crowd. Alondra got her run rule
I
that
did.
she asked for.
Oh my gosh, I did. How about that?
I was watching the game.
I had to be very specific.
I know. And then in the 8th inning, John Pearson hits it, and I'm like, there's the run rule.
Yeah.
2 years in the making. We got the
Well, I got it last
LSU
season too, but it was.
We got the LSU run rule over Nicholls. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
I'm just going to start speaking things into existence.
And now you have to be specific.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be like, oh, I want this. No, I mean, we got to lay
I
it out.
have to
detail by
say,
detail.
I need LSU baseball to run rule Nicholls instead of the other way. Where I think I just said, like, oh, I need a run
I need a
rule.
run rule, yeah.
So then Nicholls run ruled us last season.
Yeah. Not LSU's finest moment. You know what, though? I think LSU had a pretty decent ending to their season last year. I don't think they cared too much about that.
LSU baseball will go back to back this season.
Okay.
There, I'm doing it.
Okay. I like that.
I'm doing it.
I like that. You specified team. You specified this season.
Yeah. In Omaha.
If anything screws up, it's not on you. So
No, it's not. I was very specific.
Yeah, that you're good on that. Guys, I'm a little fired up this morning.
Oh.
Luke Combs is opening a brand new bar. Let's go.
Oh,
In
I didn't know
Nashville?
that.
So that one's already open. We visited that one back in November. This one's coming to Orlando at the City Walk right outside of Universal Studios. And for those who don't know, my family likes to frequent Universal.
Yeah.
Now, that's probably going to change in the near future. We'll probably have to wait a few years before we go back. But yeah,
Probably.
he's opening a
Isn't he also coming out with a new album?
he is.
Or did that already come out?
No, so a single came out last Friday.
Yeah.
It's called Be By You. Everybody go listen to it. It's great. God, I should be Luke Combs'
This
PR
guy.
guy. You know, I mean, I really should. I should get some sort of, give me some sort of royalties from this. No, and then the whole album comes out like middle of March. But so he's opening the Category 10. First off, if you're going to Nashville, go to Category 10. It's the best one. Like, I had loved Jason Aldean's bar for a number of years. I thought that was the best one. I visited the new Garth Brooks bar. I visited the new Eric Church bar. I visited Luke Combs' Category 10. It's by far the best one.
God,
I mean,
you're just a barfly.
I know.
I'm excited
Well,
to go. I'm going to Nashville this summer, and I want to go to all the bars.
So it sucked for Victoria
Oh.
because I was like, I love Luke Combs. I love Eric Church. I'm like, oh, no, we got to go to the bars. But luckily, they serve lunch during the day, so we wound up just eating at one of them.
Yeah.
But I had to go into all of them, and this was 2 weeks after Victoria found out she was pregnant.
Ooh,
so,
that
I mean, not a whole lot she could do. She kind of just tagged along and cheered me on. So probably not the best experience for her. But, yeah, so this thing's going to be 33,000 square feet.
Dang.
Not a small boy. It's going to be right there in City Walk. I think the one in Nashville is actually bigger than that. I could be wrong. But, yeah, I'm excited about that. My sister might even be a bigger Luke Combs fan than me, which is hard to do. which like me and my sister don't agree on anything music-wise, except we are both big Luke Combs fans. So maybe I need to reevaluate things. like maybe that's where I'm at. But no, I'm excited about it. He actually has 3 locations. He has one in Vegas too. But you can bet in 2027 when this thing opens up, the Sharp family will be up in that thing. You guys are gonna like this. Victoria has this little app that like tracks how many weeks along she is and everything like
Does it
that.
tell her like what fruit it is?
It's a mango as of yesterday, guys.
Yeah.
A mango. 19. Well, it gives you a bunch of different categories. So like it's got like this one's fruit category. Your baby's as big as a mango.
Yeah.
And then with snack category, your baby is as big as a cheese stick, which seems significantly smaller to a mango to me. And like last week,
I guess like lengthwise.
So it's half a pound.
Yeah.
I believe is the weight.
Yeah.
6 inches long, half a pound. But also, what cheese stick is 6 inches long?
That's a long
huge.
cheese stick.
The ones that they used to have at walk-ons.
Yeah, those
The
things
logs,
were logs.
yeah.
Yes, those are mad. What's the Chili's one they have? They're like the rectangles.
Oh yeah.
Those are big too. It's as big as a cornhole bag.
Okay.
So we love that.
Yeah.
We got the Olympics going on. We got a lot of sports going on. Cornhole bag. How about this one? It's as big as Cher's cell phone used on Clueless. Cassie, Clueless was a movie that came out.
I've seen Clueless.
Okay, so I was picking on you a little bit the other day,
Yeah.
asking Braxton if he had seen Billy Madison because like his last name's in the movie. And I said,
I've seen Billy Madison.
okay, well, I told him like, thank you for seeing Billy Madison because Cassie has seen no movies.
When did Clueless come out?
Like,
1995.
I was
I
about
wasn't
to
even
say-
born yet.
You were like
Not
7
even a
years?
thought.
I don't think any of us were.
I wasn't. I was a year away. I was born in 96. But, I mean, I've seen a lot of random movies, but the giant cell phone that she used in the 1993 movie Clueless,
Yeah.
it's as big as the cell phone. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Found out Victoria can actually hear or feel when the baby hiccups.
That's cool.
It's cool, but that's also kind of terrifying.
Why?
It's just weird to me. Like something growing inside of you still is just a foreign concept to me.
Yeah.
Victoria's like, yeah, the baby's growing like eyelashes and fingernails. I'm like, that's inside of you.
Yeah.
Like, think about that's just. I don't know. Apparently, they were picking on me on the way back to the Senior Bowl, saying I'm in for a rude awakening. But I mean, yeah, like she gives me updates. So she finds out how far along she is every Wednesday, and this was the latest update. And last week they said the baby was the size of a pickle.
Yeah.
Again, mango doesn't seem bigger than a pickle.
Yeah, I feel like a pickle is bigger than like a cheese stick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It may have to do with weight. I mean, I guess a pickle doesn't weigh that much. Like a mango's probably bigger.
I feel like a pickle also weighs more than a cheese stick.
That's what I'm saying. And like a cornhole bag. How much
Yeah.
does a cornhole bag weigh?
I don't know.
Like you're telling me a mango and a cornhole bag weigh the same? I don't see it, but yeah, that's where we're at. We're the size of Cher's cell phone. We're the size of a cornhole bag, a cheese stick, not the giant walk-ons cheese sticks, the small cheese sticks, and a mango. So we are rolling right along. 19 weeks as of yesterday. We got a lot to cover here on today's show. I mean, we had a baseball game yesterday. Alondra spoke it into existence. The right team got the run rule. LSU versus Nicholls. It was the 1 o'clock game yesterday in Alec Box. We will break that down. We got Bill Bender of the Sporting News coming on. Bill put out his entire 68-team bracket for March Madness. March Madness is just around the corner. So we'll shake it up a little bit. We'll talk to Bill about that. Spoiler alert, guys, LSU not in that round of 68 number. We just missed it. Just missed it. I mean, one more SEC win, that probably would have done it. But we'll talk to Bill about all of that. We will do our big deal or no big deal at 9 a.m. We'll bring that back for a little bit. Munchies, Chef Michael Johnson, he's coming on. And Matt Flynn will be so proud of me. We might even do a little Olympic update for you guys. Kind of excited about that. And Paul Feinbaum, of all people, giving Lane Kiffin his flowers yesterday, which if Paul Feinbaum's doing that, I assume anything is possible. So we'll discuss that a little bit as well. Again, a ton to get to. Are the Saints in the market for a running back? We're breaking it all down. So we'll cut a little bit early here because we got a lot of baseball to get to. We'll actually break down LSU versus Nicholls next here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
Go to Bally's, Baton Rouge Casino and Hotel, the brand new star of downtown Baton Rouge. It is brand new. And sure, like the outside of the building somewhat might be the same, but that's the only thing that is the same. When you walk in, you'll be blown away. They have got Vegas-style gaming all over the place. Right when you walk in on the casino floor, they've got new slot machines. They have got a brand new DraftKings Sportsbook with an incredible bar that butts up to this biggest TV I think you've ever seen in your life. They've got a brand new hotel. Every room got an upgrade. Everything got an upgrade. Go check it out. Bally's Baton Rouge Casino and Hotel.
That's right. It is Friday. It is the weekend. Friday. If you're looking for something to do, if you're in Baton Rouge, the Baton Rouge area, looking for something to do with your friends, with your spouse, whatever it is, a little date night, go to Bally's of Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge, you got an upgrade, 25,000 square foot gaming facility, beautiful hotel and restaurants right there. Bally's of Baton Rouge.
Shitters in your fever, scream me again. Never kisses, or do you ever send a full stop? Do you know where the muffins go? They go along to take your honey. Way down how we build our breakfast down and say my love, love, love.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, we are so fired up to be back with RejuveMe and RejuveMeMedical.com. Several locations across Louisiana.
Are you kidding me?
Baton Rouge, right there in Bluebonnet and Jefferson. You've got also the Bluebonnet in Highland. You've got Prairieville, Metairie, Slidell, Covington, Houma, Shreveport, Monroe, Lake Charles, Lafayette. Also, you got some locations there in Mississippi, and they have been the leader in HRT, right? Hormone replacement therapy, helping you regain that energy, that boost that you once had, getting back to feeling like your normal self. Go see them today at RejuveMeMedical.com.
That's right. Yeah, kind of like Groovy's maybe kind of a little wiry. If you're not feeling fiery anymore as a man, you get a little bit older, you got that hormones, they start getting out of whack a little bit. Well, go there, get a medical, get a panel, get a blood panel just to see. Go see what's happening if there's something. Maybe it's not, but if there is, they are the leader in Louisiana for over 10 years at hormone replacement therapy. Go check them out. RejuveMeMedical.com.
All right, welcome back in. Thursday edition of OTB. Taylor Sharp here with you. Filling in for Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn here in the Raising Cane's studio. Your LSU Tigers took on the Nicholls State Colonels yesterday in Alex Box Stadium. We're about to break it all down, but before we do that, let's go ahead and get this show started.
It's time to get glowing, courtesy of GoFlow IV Spa, where hydration, vitamins, and a summer-ready glow are always on tap. Now, for starters.
All right, the Tigers take down the Colonels 12-1 yesterday afternoon in Alex Box Stadium. The scoring went like this. Nicholls actually comes out swinging. They get a solo home run in the first inning, and things looked a little bit dicey for the Tigers. However, LSU was able to get out of it with limited damage. 1-0 deficit going into the bottom of the first inning, and LSU played at a 5 spot in that bottom of the first inning. A home run by Trent Caraway, a grand slam in that first inning to really bust the doors wide open there for the Tigers. And things kind of remain steady at that 6-0 mark. LSU scores 1 in the bottom of the second. Doesn't score again till the 6th inning. They add 2 more, making it 8-1. And then a 1 run in the 7th inning, and then a 3-run spot in the 8th, which ended the game early. It was John Pearson. The game ended in the bottom of the 8th. He unloaded a 3-run home run. It gave the Tigers an 11-run advantage in the 8th inning, and that's all she wrote. The Tigers victorious 12-1 inside Alex Box Stadium. A lot of things to like in this game. Jake Brown, he's now batting .500 on the season. He went 2 for 5 yesterday. He had a double, 2 RBIs, scored a run. Jake Brown continues to just see the ball so well. He's tearing the cover off of it. Stephen Milam, he bounced back after an up and down opening weekend. He was 1 for 3, but he scored 2 runs. Trent Caraway, I mentioned him, a grand slam. He had 4 RBI on that game, 1 for 3. Tanner Reeves hit at the plate. Tanner Reeves is hitting .400 on the season. honestly, he just doesn't look comfortable out there in left field. I know he's out there due to the injury right now to Chris Stanfield, but Jay clearly wants his bat in the lineup because there's options. We talked about it yesterday. You had a chance to see Daniel Harden coming up from community college. He had a great year last year at the JUCO level. He was coming up. We didn't see a ton of him. We saw him a little bit, but, I mean, Mason Braun's another guy. He DH'd yesterday. We didn't see him in the outfield. We didn't see him in the infield. Clearly, Jay wants Tanner Reeves' bat in the lineup. He put him out there at left field. And, he misplayed a ball in the second inning. No run scored off of it, but he just doesn't look comfortable out there in left field. We'll see if something changes, before Stanfield gets out. Hopefully, Stanfield not out for a tremendous amount of time. But, yeah, Tanner Reeves just doesn't look comfortable out there in left field. I think he's much more of an infielder, but he's seeing the ball well. Again, he's hitting, 400 on the season right now. So I understand wanting that bat in the lineup right now in non-conference play. The bullpen was excellent in this game. Dax Dothie, Zion Theopolis, Santiago Garcia, Reagan Ricken. They combined for most of this game and did not give up a hit. Now, they combined for 5 walks. You got to clean that up a little bit, but it resulted in no runs. And guys, as a whole, this bullpen, 7 Ks, no runs between the 4 relievers. Again, got to clean up the walks a little bit, but you got to be really happy with what you saw from the bullpen. I just laid out what we saw in the batting lineup. I really liked what I saw from Santiago Garcia. I thought that was a good bounce back spot. I mean, Garcia goes in there. He throws an inning. Now, he walks 2 batters, but he gets 2 strikeouts. Does not give up a single hit. Able to get out of that inning. Reagan Ricken goes the final 3 in this game, and this was his first outing as a Tiger. He's a guy we highlighted yesterday, him and Theopolis, of you'll probably see these guys because you didn't see him in the opening weekend. Reagan Ricken, 3 innings, 2 strikeouts, no walks, and no hits. That's about as good as you're going to get. I mean, I thought he was nails at the back end of that bullpen. That's something you can build off of. Again, I mentioned Santiago Garcia. He had the 2 walks, but he had a big-time bounce-back performance. Dax Dothie, he comes in a spotty situation. He goes an inning and a third, faced 4 batters, struck out 2 of them, did not give up a hit. Zion Theopolis, an inning and a third, faced 4 batters, got a strikeout, did walk 3 guys. He had a little bit of control issues, but again, he was able to get out of it without a hit and without giving up any runs. There was a ton to like in this ball game. The confusing part to me was you didn't see Connor Benj, which you'll see Connor Benj at some point. You saw him last year. I think he had 16 outings a year ago. Jay Johnson kind of knows what he's got in Connor Benj. I still know Danny Lockenmeyer. Did not see Danny Lockenmeyer at all. And I actually thought there was a chance that Cooper Williams could have started this game. He threw 2 innings over the weekend, and whether it's Kason Evans, whether it's a William Schmidt, you don't know if that weekend rotation is set in stone. And a lot of times, Jay does like to put that left-handed arm in that weekend rotation. Cooper Williams, probably the best candidate as far as lefties to become a starter on the weekend. Thought we might see him, maybe 2 innings, kind of the opener, if you will, not even necessarily a starter that's going to go 4 to 5 innings because you'll probably still use him on the weekend. But we did not see Cooper Williams. That tells me, as of right now, they're kind of comfortable with where they are in that weekend rotation, at least for the time being. I would not expect any changes over the weekend, and we're still going to see Cooper Williams probably early this weekend, probably tomorrow, if I had to guess. But really good outing by the bullpen. The not so good, Zach Cowan with another rough outing. An inning and a third. Gave up 3 hits, gave up a run, which was just a bomb of a home run early in that first inning. He only walked 1 batter, but again, an inning and a third, 2 strikeouts, faced 9 batters, gave up 3 hits, gave up a run, had 34 pitches in an inning and a third. I don't know what you do with Zach Cowan now, because me and Alondra talked about it a little bit yesterday. We were cool with seeing Cowan for an inning or a Santiago Garcia to kind of get their confidence back. Because really, out of all the relief pitchers you saw over the weekend, it was Cowan and Garcia that did not perform up to their standard, which Garcia was a big-time transfer from Oregon. We knew what Zach Cowan did a year ago. You weren't super concerned with him, but you would have liked to have seen him get back in the right direction. I thought Santiago Garcia did that. Again, 2 walks in an inning. You got to clean that up a little bit, but struck out 2, didn't give up a hit, no runs across the plate. You're happy with that for the most part. I would call that a bounce-back performance for the most part. Zach Cowan, though, he gets the start in this game, which came as a little bit of a surprise to me, but he goes an inning and a third. And, I mean, yeah, he gave up. You're going to say, okay, he gave up 1 run. I understand that, but he just never looked comfortable out there. And, yes, there was a slight fielding error on Trent Carraway's part to kind of extend that first inning a little bit. However, Carraway would make up for it in the bottom of the first inning with that grand slam shot, but Alondra, I'll throw this one to you. Is it time to be concerned with Zach Cowan?
Yes, only because you kind of saw it toward the end of last season.
Right.
Like, he did really well versus Arkansas, but before that, I think it was like during the SEC championship versus, or maybe even during the Texas A&M series. Like, it just started to kind of like lose a little bit of the control and maybe be a little concerned about it, but I don't know. I mean, I guess just try to get him some reps out there. We know he has it. I think maybe am I going to come out the pen? Am I going to start? Am I going to close thing might have been a bit of a mental thing for him, because I know it's different for pitchers. Like, if they know they're going to start, if they know they're going to come out the pen, it's different for them. So maybe it was a little bit of that. And kind of still is that. Like, you still don't really know where he's going to be. But maybe just a little bit of concern for Zach Cowan. But we know he has it.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. It was kind of like, I guess it was like halfway through the SEC season. Was it Oklahoma? Was it A&M? It was one of those.
I think it was A&M.
Where, he kind of got touched up a little bit. He almost wasn't the same after that. Like you mentioned, he was great against Arkansas, which you needed that. But SEC tournament, and then even when you got to Omaha, like, Casey Evans was the one that emerged. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was his coming out party. It was Evans, the freshman that you went to over Zach Cowan. And yeah, you could say it's 2 outings, it's non-conference. I get it, but it's everything she just laid out. It's not 2 outings. It's the back half of last season, or the back part of last season, less than half the season, but translating into this season, that's not good. You would have liked a veteran like Zach Cowan to put that behind him. And I think he can. He's a good pitcher. We saw him last year. I mean, he was nails as your closer for the first half of last year. I mean, he was one of the most dominant guys in the SEC. So the potential's there. And like she just said, get him out there, continue to get him reps. This is the non-conference. You should have an advantage over everybody you play. And guess what? Your team's going to score a lot of runs if these first 5 games are any indication. So there's a chance to go out there, let him work through things. Hopefully it doesn't hurt you too much, and get him going in the right direction before SEC play starts. I like Zach Cowan. You know it's there. You've seen it. Like, we're not even basing anything off of potential. He's been out there and actually done it. Again, he gets the start yesterday. He doesn't even make it out of the second inning, and it's not what you wanted to see as far as a bounce-back performance. However, the rest of the team really solid. Dathy, Theopolis, Garcia, Ricken, the 4 relief pitchers combined for 7 strikeouts, no hits, obviously no runs given up. So really solid job there from the Tigers bullpen. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we get back, CBS Sports put out teams they believe could have the most explosive offenses next year in college football. LSU obviously makes the list. They're a little bit lower than you might think. However, there's one reason for it, and I think it makes a lot of sense. So we'll break all that down next here on Off the Bench.
All right, so you heard Flynn the other day. I mean, he loves Dos Equis. You know that we here on the OTB team love Dos Equis. It is the perfect beer for any occasion. Lake beer, beach beer, shower beer, bath beer, you name it beer, like ballpark beer. It is the go-to, and we've said it. We're going to continue to say it, whether you're tailgating outside of Tiger Stadium, watching the Saints on a Sunday, or just kicking back with your crew. Dos Equis brings that bold flavor and smooth finish that turns ordinary into legendary. It's not just beer. It is the beer of champions, or at least the beer of guys who feel like champions, but you will feel like a champion when you enjoy an ice-cold Dos Equis. So you don't have to be a champion because Dos Equis will make you a champion. So the next time you're watching the game, grab a Dos Equis, and remember, stay thirsty, my friends, responsibly, of course. Dos Equis, official beer of unforgettable sports moments.
...2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
All right, go to rouses.com, go see our friends, and, which location do you go see them at? Well, you got to find out. You got to go to the website and see which one is nearest you. And then once you find that out, we always talk about it, man. They've got incredible deals going on at your local store, and you're going to be able to see them in that weekly ad right there on the homepage. Now, we always encourage you, go walk in. You'll be blown away right when you walk in. All the things that make Rouse's great. You're going to be welcomed by king cakes and all these things that are so Louisiana, right? And they are so local. They're going to have their own stuff there. But when we say Louisiana, they're in more than just Louisiana. Across the Gulf Coast. We just went to one in Mobile, Alabama a couple of weeks ago when we were down there for the Senior Bowl. So, again, find that location nearest you. How do you do that? You go to rouses.com.
Yeah, Rouse's on it. Get ready for the tailgating weekend, baby. Do it local. A local grocery store. Go check out your nearest local Rouse's.
All right, welcome back in. Thursday edition of Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp here with you. Landra Villarreal, Cassie Spazzali as well inside the Raising Cane studio. CBS Sports yesterday put out their prediction of the top 10 offenses going into the 2026 football season. Run down them a little bit. They have the Texas Longhorns at number 1. No surprise there. I mean, you have Arch Manning coming back. I get it. There was a lot of hype around Arch, and I was one of the ones pushing back saying, hey, he's probably going to struggle a little bit in year 1. And he did, but the back half of last year, Arch was really good. People like to pile on him and say, oh, he's overrated because he's a Manning. People are going to have to accept the fact that Arch Manning's actually a pretty good quarterback. Believe it or not, it's hard to play quarterback, and he was a first-year starter in the SEC. Shocker that he struggled through the first half of the year. But he was good down the stretch for the Longhorns. They add Cam Coleman, number 1 wide receiver in the portal. You had Hollywood Smothers and Rayleigh Brown into that backfield, which is good. I mean, you lose Wisner, you lose C.J. Baxter. Like, they were a big part of your running game. You had Smothers and Rayleigh Brown. That's huge. Texas is going to have a good offensive line again. That one makes a lot of sense to me. There's a lot of proven. There's very little unknown on the Texas offense. Now, they rank Miami number 2. I'm not sure about that. I mean, Darian Mensah's coming in. How good is Darian Mensah going to be? I mean, he was good at Duke. Let's not make no mistake about it, but we'll see. Miami, there's a lot to like. Like, Malachi Toney's coming back. You have Shannon Dawson back as the offensive coordinator. I get all that, but they lose a little bit as well. I mean, now Mark Fletcher does come back, which is huge for the Hurricanes. Indiana, number 3, we broke it down a little bit yesterday. Josh Hoover stepping in at the quarterback role for Kurt Cignetti. I think the Hoosiers are going to continue to roll next year. Then your usual suspects, right? Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, which makes no sense to me, but it's Notre Dame. They're going to be overhyped every year. Like, this is a team that's losing Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. However, C.J. Carr does come back, 10 consecutive wins to finish out the regular season. So there is a little bit to build off there. Coming in at number 7, it's your LSU Tigers. Little write-up on them. They say, when you assemble the nation's top-ranked transfer portal class and commit every available resource to making year 1 under Lane Kiffin a success, the expectation is immediate production. Obviously, they mentioned Sam Levitt coming in at quarterback. The quarterback's behind him. They said the unit that we're most concerned about right now is the offensive line. We actually project it as a strength, but there is some unknown. That is totally understandable. Think about how bad this offensive line was a year ago. You couldn't do anything to run the football. Like, my argument's always, last year was not the outlier. I don't think you've been able to run the ball since Brian Kelly was the head coach here. take out Jaden Daniels. I'm not looking for Jaden Daniels to drop back, see nothing, and just be better and more athletic than everybody else and take off running. That is not a traditional running game. That is not a designed run play. Jaden Daniels was just an alien, and he was better than everybody else. You take Jaden Daniels out of there and you look at the traditional running plays, they really hadn't been able to do that for 4 years. That's a big reason why Brian Kelly's gone. That's why Brad Davis is gone, because these offensive linemen never developed in the running game, never got any better. So sure, it is a huge area of concern coming into the year. But I do like how they said it projects as a position of strength for us, because LSU did a really good job in the transfer portal. Just look at some of the transfers. Jaquan Sprinkle, Jacoby Jones. Those are two of the lesser talked about guys, just because Sprinkle comes from NC Central. Jacoby Jones is Kapaya Lincoln Junior College, so they step up a level. But you got Darren Stray from Kentucky, William Satterwhite, center from Tennessee. Devin Harper, who a lot of people believe is going to be a starter on this team. I actually have some questions about Harper, only because I think there's going to be a lot of competition for him at guard. Sure, he comes over from Ole Miss. He's played under Lane Kiffin. He's familiar with the Charlie Weiss offense. He does have an advantage as far as the learning curve goes, but there are some guys you've added that have some serious playing time experience, like Sean Tompkins. When you look at what Sean Tompkins has done in college, there's a lot to like from him. Now, he's going to be more of a tackle, but he's 6'5", he's 300 pounds. Played at Baylor for 3 seasons. He was just a 3-star, but when he got there, but in 2025, he appeared in 10 games, started the last 5 of them, and most of them were at left tackle. Now, he did play 14 snaps at right tackle in the year, but Sean Tompkins sitting there, potential left tackle candidate. When you look at the PFF, they graded him 50.1 on offense, 48 in run blocking, not great. That is going to have to get better. 56% in pass protection. However, 6 of his 10 pass protection grades on the year were over 71. So he had a couple pretty poor games, but he flashed a little bit as well. So he's a guy that if you coach him up a little bit, under Coach Eric Wolford, he's a guy that can come in and start for you. I mean, he started double-digit games in the Power 4. He's a guy I like a lot. You add Jamar Jones, you add Aliou Ba, Jordan Seaton, Adrian Lamb. And then you look at your returners. You don't return a ton. Just about all of them outside of Solomon Thomas have some sort of experience, though. Weston Davis and Braylon Moore are back. Braylon Moore, I imagine, is still going to be your starting center. I mean, William Satterwhite does come in. He'll probably try to battle for that job, but although Braylon Moore, when fully healthy, actually did an okay job a year ago. And then Weston Davis, I get it. He was probably the weak link on your O-line a year ago, but he's another year into this program. And I always say, losing a coach like Brad Davis to me is a net positive for this offensive line. There is no way that Weston Davis or any of these other linemen can be as poor under Eric Wolford as they were under Brad Davis, because to me, it's almost impossible to be that way. I thought Brad Davis was in over his head. It never looked like it was working. And again, he was here for 4 years under Brian Kelly. He was here under Orgeron. A lot of people forget he was the interim coach in the Texas Bowl when John Trey Kirkland had to play quarterback against Kansas State. And before Kelly actually got here, it was kind of a carbon copy of what you saw this past Texas Bowl. That was Brad Davis. So he had been here 5 years. Orgeron's last season all the way through Kelly. And I mean, the offensive line never saw really a significant improvement. I think Eric Wolford's going to be an improvement at that spot. You bring back Bo Bordelon. Never been a traditional starter for you, but he's played a lot of football. He's been in there at that tight end spot, the yackle, as Jacob Hester wants to call it. And then you get Solomon Thomas, who a lot of people forget about. It's kind of like what we talked about with Devin Sheeran and Gavin Guidry coming into the baseball season. These are two guys that are as talented as anybody on the roster. They're just kind of out of sight, out of mind right now because they hadn't played in a year. Remember, Solomon Thomas was a big signing day flip for Brian Kelly last year. He was a 5-star. He's committed to Florida State. They flipped him on signing day. And there was a lot of hype around him. He got hurt right before fall camp started. He missed the entire season. But Solomon Thomas is a talented guy. His second year in a college program. He's going to compete for playing time. I like what you did with the freshmen. Bryson Martinez, Ryan Moret, who was committed to Lane under Ole Miss. Lane was able to bring him to Baton Rouge. So he's a guy that's been on Kiffin's radar for quite some time. Possibly Lamar Brown. I know he's on the defensive line. I prefer Lamar Brown on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to keep banging that drum because I think you need more help there, and I actually think Lamar Brown's probably better on the offensive line. We'll see what they do with him. As far as like immediate impact guys, though, Jordan Seaton's going to start for this team. Is it left tackle? Is it right tackle? It's going to be somewhere. He's too talented of a guy not to. Now, I do think people will push him. I mean, whether it's Weston Davis, whether it's Sean Tompkins. I mean, I think Jaquan Sprinkle could push for that. I mean, there's going to be guys pushing him for that spot. I think Jordan Seaton does win out. I mean, he was an all Big 12 player a year ago. They did everything they could to get him into the purple and gold, and it ultimately worked out for him. Jordan Seaton's going to start on this football team in some capacity, at least to begin the year. I truly believe that. I'd be really surprised if opening game of the year, pull up the little graphic with the starting 5 offensive linemen, you don't see Jordan Seaton's name in one of those spots. I just mentioned Sean Tompkins, kind of an under-the-radar guy, but played a lot of football for Baylor. He had some ups and downs, but he flashed a little bit. He's a guy that'll come in and play tackle for you. Aliou Ba, probably my favorite signing of the entire transfer portal. Because as far as experience, as far as production, Ba's the guy. I mean, he's 6'6", 320 pounds. He could play either guard spot. But over his 2 seasons with Maryland, he started 24 consecutive games at guard for the Terps. He also did not allow a sack the entire 2024 season. Only allowed his quarterback to be hit twice. Over a 72 pass grade. Like, anything you want as far as a plug-and-play offensive lineman, Aliou Ba is that, and I think he's going to win one of those guard spots. So, I mean, I think you'll have Braylon Moore in the middle, Ba at either one of those guard positions, and Seaton. That leaves 2 spots up for grabs. It's that other guard spot on the other side of Ba and the other tackle spot. Weston Davis probably has an inside track, but again, Sean Tompkins could do it. Could one of these younger guys do it? But I think 3 of your 5 spots, you kind of have an idea of who you believe is going to fill those spots. Keep an eye on Bryson Martinez, though. I understand he's a freshman, but he is 6'6", 300 pounds, and he looks ready to play right away. Remember the highlight tape that came out of one of the games at East Ascension? Bryson Martinez, first off, he played tight end for this team most of the year for the Spartans last year. That's how athletic he was, but he can play tackle. He can play tight end. He lined up at wide receiver and was running dig routes. He threw a pass at quarterback, a long pass for a touchdown. He lined up in the Wildcat, took some snaps, and ran the ball. Like, Bryson Martinez is an athletic freak, and he could come in and potentially push for a starting spot. That's kind of your dark horse to watch. I understand everybody wants to look at the transfer portal and say, oh, you brought in all this talent, all this experience. I get all that. But a young guy like Bryson Martinez sliding in there, I wouldn't be totally surprised if that happened. And if this offensive line comes together like we're talking about, LSU is going to be higher on this list of explosive offenses than number 7 because you have everything else. I mean, yesterday we talked about the pass catchers, right? Like Jace Brown, Winston Watkins, Trey Wilson. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, look at all the guys you brought in. I thought you did well in the high school ranks with Jabari Mack, Braden Allen, Corey Barber. Corey Barber, I think, has some serious talent. You have Trey Green back. You have Harlem Berry and Caden Durham. And you have your quarterback figured out. Everything you need to be successful on offense is there. Your only question mark is the offensive line. And that's a big question mark. But I think this coaching staff did about as good a job as anybody could have done as putting this thing together, bringing in a combination of veteran experience, guys that maybe don't have the experience you need, but have a lot of upside, like a Devin Harper, familiarity with Lane Kiffin. And then you bring in a big offensive tackle like Bryson Martinez in the high school rank, who I believe the sky's the limit for him. Like, that might be my favorite signing in LSU signing class as far as high school players go. Keep an eye on them. It'll be fun to watch as we go into spring. We'll get more updates as we get closer. But if this offensive line can come together, I think the sky's the limit for this offense under Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. All right, we'll take a quick timeout. When we get back, closing out hour number 1 next. We got 2 more hours left with you. You're on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
Well, speaking of diving in, would
Head
you like
first.
to dive into a Russell pool? Because when you see what they can do for you, you'll be blown away. I mean, they're going to make the pool of your dreams. In fact, that's their tagline because they know it is factual. Let's build your dream pool. And what better time to get that process started than right now, because you are going to enjoy it year long. This is Louisiana. It is always pool season here in Louisiana, but this is truly a one-stop shop. We're talking about construction, maintenance, retail, all of that you handle with one company. That company is Russell Pool Company, and you can trust them. We trust them. Everybody they build pools for trust them. LSU, the Tigers trust them as well.
Yeah, let them build your dream pool. They can do everything from design to landscape architect to financing options. They can do it all. When you think of quality pools, you think of Russell Pools. RussellPools.com.
So sentimental, not sentimental, no romantic, not disgusting yet. Darling, I'm down and lonely. When will the
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
March Madness is heading to Vegas, and LouisianaSports.net is sending one of you plus a friend with it. We're giving away a 3-night Las Vegas getaway from Wednesday, March 18th through Saturday, March 21st. Just in time to watch all the madness. Hotel stay and flights covered, and all you have to do to enter is head to LouisianaSports.net and click the March Madness getaway link. Sign up now before our March Madness Pick'em launches. Get yourself entered, and you could be watching the tournament from Las Vegas instead of your couch. Winner will be announced Monday, March 2nd.
Welcome back in. Final segment, hour number 1 here on a Thursday edition of Off the Bench. I got to go back to Las Vegas. The problem is, though, it's going to have to be with something like that. Like, it's going to have to be a March Madness tournament, a sporting event, or a concert. 'Cause, guys, I think I missed my Vegas window. Like, we went to Vegas. I took my senior trip after graduating high school to Vegas. I was 18 years old. You could walk into the casino. You couldn't really do anything while you were in the casino. I mean, a lot of the bars out there, you were 21 and up. And like, I'm not a huge drinker anyways. I mean, I think we've talked about that a few times, but I went, like, my whole family went. First off, guys, we drove to Las Vegas, which I do not recommend. It was a 26-hour drive or something like that, 26, 24. It was, I don't know why we chose to do it. My parents said, we want to see the country as we drive across it. Well, I can tell you from West Texas, pretty much till you get to like Albuquerque, New Mexico, there's nothing. It's like, just skip it. If you could just get like halfway through Texas, jump straight to Las Vegas, that's the best way to do it. But yeah, I mean, we were there. My whole family went, senior trip. Again, I'm not even 21 yet. And then I always told myself, I'm going to go back to Vegas. But, I mean, I'm about to be 30 years old. I have a child on the way. I kind of missed my recreational Las Vegas window. Again, I would go for a sporting event or, a concert or something like. I would love to go to the Sphere. I just don't want to donate a kidney in order to buy concert tickets to go to the Sphere. But, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I think I kind of missed my my Las Vegas window. Now, the thing about Vegas, everyone that has told me there's been multiple times. Like, again, I went once back in, it was like June of 2014. I think we stayed there 3 or 4 days. That's about all you're going to do in Las Vegas. Like, that's not like Alondra said she's going to New York. That's a trip. Like, I think my sister, she goes to New York, kind of like you, Alondra. Like, she goes every year, but like that's a place I could continue to go. Unfortunately, I missed my Las Vegas window. However, that March Madness thing, I'd be all over that. I would love to go see a sporting event there, or the where the Raiders play. I can't even think of the stadium name, but where they play, like where LSU USC. Like, I would have loved to have went to that. Would hated the flight home because the game was absolutely atrocious and LSU choked that one away. But that's beside the point. Upsetting. Kind of missed my Vegas window. All right, guys, we got 2 more hours to go here on Off the Bench. We covered a lot. I mean, we kind of broke down LSU versus Nicholls. Alondra, 2 years in the making, finally got her run rule victory. For the correct team, we figured out you just got to be a little bit more specific. LSU does run rule Nicholls 12-1 in 8 innings yesterday at the box. We talked a little LSU football. CBS Sports put out their most explosive offenses coming up in 2026. I think LSU is a little too low on that list. They come in at number 7. However, with all the offensive line concerns, I'm okay with it. I just think LSU is going to exceed expectations in that area, mainly due to the coaching change, but also I think you brought in a lot of talented guys. Coming up in the next hour, there has been so much talk about the Saints going after Jeremiah Love, and I'm kind of warming up to the idea. I think you still have a lot bigger needs, but Jeremiah Love is a really good player. So if you grabbed him at 8 overall, like, I'm not like Matt Flynn. I'd be okay with it. I think it's one of those things where I think the Saints are sitting in a really good spot because they have the 8th overall pick, and it looks like you have your young quarterback of the future. So you're in a pretty good spot. But what if they don't get Jeremiah Love? What are some other options to add to that running game? There's a couple big name free agents, at least for the time being. They have not been franchise tagged. Might happen with one of them, but as of now, that has not happened. We'll look at how each of them fit in the Saints offense. LSU record number of season tickets sold for football. No surprise there. We're talking about that. And then Bill Bender of the Sporting News will jump on with us to discuss March Madness. That Field of 68 coming up here pretty soon. We'll break it all down with Bill Bender. So stay tuned. We got 2 more hours left with you on a Thursday edition of Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.